Yo, what's up guys, this is Atrix here, and what you are seeing right now is the real Grand Theft Auto 4 being emulated on an Android device in full resolution, and you can also see the FPS bar at the top left corner of your screen. This right here is possible with the help of Exagear emulator. In today's video, I'll be talking about how you guys can also emulate GTA 4 on your Android devices, along with minimum requirements, gameplay review and much more. If this video reaches 300 likes, then I'll make sure to upload a tutorial on how to play GTA 4 on your Android devices through Exagear emulator. So be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, turn on all notification. Let me start off by talking about the minimum requirements to get this game running on an Android device. You need a Snapdragon processor Android device. If you have a MediaTek one, then you can probably assume that this game will not work well at all. The gameplay which you are seeing right here is being recorded on a flagship Snapdragon processor, and still we are getting only about 15 to 17 FPS maximum. Most of the time it's below 12 FPS, which is pretty disappointing, but the FPS does result upon what's going on in the game. So let me start off by telling you guys that if you have a flagship device, you will get good amount of FPS, at least playable amount. So if you have low end device, let's say that you have Snapdragon 450 processor, then nope, this game won't work. And I have seen some gameplays on YouTube. Even if you have Snapdragon 660 processor, this game did work on that device, but it gave only like 5 to 10 FPS and it wasn't playable. It also takes lot of time to load this game. The biggest problem while emulating this game is the fact that you need Exagear emulator. Now Exagear isn't that hard to install or set up on your Android device, but if you are on Android version 13 or 12, then you might face some issues similar to what I faced. For example, while pasting the files in the OBB directory of Exagear emulator, you can't just directly paste them because on Android version 13 it has restricted the OBB folder access. So if you have an Android device with Android version 13, then I recommend you guys just to wait for my tutorial, because it is very complicated to set up Exagear emulator. But if you don't know what Exagear itself is, it is basically a emulator with a virtual machine that allows you to run Windows PC application on ARM devices. Now it doesn't really support all exe files, but it does manage to run few older games and apps on, as its main focus is to run x64 and x86 apps on ARM64 Android devices. Now Exagear uses Wine, which is an open source compatibility layer that aims to allow applications and games developed for Windows to run on Unix like operating systems, and that's basically how it's possible to run the real GTA 4 on your Android devices. Now you also need to have the game itself loaded onto your Android device, and while emulating the game you might also face some issues like the graphical issues which you are seeing right now in the gameplay. It's generally not a big deal because in all emulators you will face graphical issues, but there are also few downsides to Exagear emulator. For example, if a normal person tries to set it up, he won't be able to do that without a good tutorial, because Exagear is extremely difficult to set up. You'll need to apply a lot of best settings along with performance tweaks, graphic drivers as well, to get the best level of performance and stability while emulating huge games like GTA 4. If you are still interested to emulate this game, then let me tell you guys few steps. So you'll need to set up Exagear emulator on your Android device first of all. Afterwards, you'll need to load the GTA 4 game onto your Android device, which will be about 10 to 15 GB depending on which version you try loading on your Android device. Afterwards, you'll need to install and update Wine version on Exagear emulator. Along with that, you will also need to apply custom Turnip drivers or Mesa Adreno drivers depending on your device and which driver works the best for you. So as I mentioned before, it is extremely complicated to set up and play this game for the first time. So you'll basically need a good tutorial, and I'll upload a tutorial as soon as this video reaches 300 likes. So be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, turn on all notification. That's going to be it for today's video. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about the emulation of GTA 4 on Android devices. See you guys next time. Goodbye.